Welcome to the New Flat Rate Podcast, a podcast for contractors who need help increasing their service tickets, creating working processes, and building freedom in their lives. In today's episode, we sat down with Ken Grubbs, the founder of KGG Consulting, to talk about ways you can help your customers and your company grow, while maybe even making a little more money in the process. And now your host, Matt Cope.
All right, there you have it, everybody. Hey, Matt Cope here with the New Flat Rate. I'm excited to be here today with KGG Consulting and the founder and the one and only. I'll let you introduce yourself.
I'm Ken Grubbs. Matt, it's as much my honor to be here as it is the other way around. I appreciate this very much.
Awesome. Well, hey, Ken, we're so glad to have you on the show. So thanks for joining us. And for everybody that's tuning in today, we just want to say thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to listening to some ways that you can really help your customers and the company can grow. And ultimately, hopefully we can all make a little bit more money too. That's a win, right?
Right.
All right. So Ken, I tell you, I know that we're coming together with the New Flat Rate and KGG Consulting and Business Uncensored. We got all this stuff going on this year, but let's just set that aside for a second and tell us, hey, what really brings us together? What is KGG Consulting really all about?
Yep. So, and I love that because there's a natural sort of overarching umbrella for both our organizations, and that is that we're very focused on the contractor. That's kind of been a long-standing debate, really. Who's the customer? Is the homeowner the customer? They're the one with the home that these things are going in. Is the distributor the customer? A lot of times they're the ones who actually buy it from the manufacturer. Is the contractor the customer? And at the end of the day, you have to come to the decision that 9 times out of the 10, it's the contractor driving the business. Homeowners don't pay much attention to the brand name of the duct tape that's being used in their home or the ductwork that's being used in their home. It's the contractor's brand choice and decisions that drive the business. So any organization that sees the contractor as the center of our orbit, like yours and like mine, I think that's a natural fit. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
For sure. We couldn't do it without them by any means.
No, we could not. We absolutely could not.
We were chatting a little bit offset about some of the neat things that you guys are bringing to the industry today for the contractors.
Yep.
And you were mentioning that you're really kind of taking a new step and a new stance to help in the world of kind of indoor air quality and how contractors can use that to help their customers do some extraordinary things. Do you mind chatting about that for a minute?
Oh my, it's my favorite thing to chat about. So let's come at this from a couple of different directions. So first of all, I've been in the business a very long time. And everything that we always talk about in our industry is always been related to one of two things. Either we're talking about comfort, we can make you warm when you're cold, we can make you cool when you're hot, or we talk about saving energy. So the whole shtick for all these years has been about energy savings and about comfort. When you bring indoor air quality into that conversation, now you're actually able to talk about health. And what I love about that is it's new. We haven't talked about health and the quality of our health in the home until indoor air quality came along. So it's a lot of fun to be in that space. It just feels good to be talking about something other than comfort and energy. So that's the first thing we teach contractors is, hey, if you lead the conversation with health, you're already going to set yourself apart right from the get-go. So I know I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up a second. The whole model is wrapped around how can we help contractors be more successful? Now that's a big, broad question with a lot of answers, but indoor air quality products accomplishes 2 things. Thing number 1 is it helps them differentiate themselves from every other HVAC contractor that is out there chasing that same job. Number 2, though, it allows them to add more revenue to that project by upselling these additional, very effective devices. So just right out of the gate, the answer to your question is what we want to do is show contractors how to grow their business by talking to homeowners about their health and talking to homeowners about the solutions for those problems. And that's just kind of step 1.
And I think that's an important step. And And not sure if it fits here perfectly, but in the world of health, I know back in our home service business that we had for a long time, and my older brother still runs today, we learned something along what you were talking about that whole, the industry's always putting the focus on energy and comfort. And we learned a long time ago that people will trade a piece of their paycheck, Ken, to be green, meaning for higher efficient, to keep up with the Joneses, to have some fancy Wi-Fi controller.
Yep.
But they will trade their entire wealth in retirement for the health and safety of their family.
You're 100% correct.
Not that we're trying to put people in a poorhouse, but there just really is no limit as to what is available when somebody is sick or when somebody has allergies and things that are affecting them. And it's funny because so many people always say, well, if a customer's, so sick in their house or whatever, they should just move. A lot of them can't, because the next house has the problem too. And so eventually, can you still hear me?
Yep. Just for a second, I lost you. You're good.
Not sure what that one was. Sorry about that. But
no, you're exactly right. And we don't want to scare them either. In other words, it's just a fact that the EPA has said that the indoor air is arguably about 5 times worse than the outside air. That's a problem for asthma sufferers, COPD sufferers, any other respiratory issue. We're not trying to scare anybody, and we're not trying to take all their money, but when you do have legitimate solutions to legitimate problems, that's a pretty good fit.
That brings up another point, Ken, because a lot of times I'll be talking to contractors, and I even talk to them about indoor air quality and things, and bring up some of the things that were in my past and experience that we did in our service company. And many of them, they don't even know where to start. They don't know what products to use. They don't know how to teach their people to install them. They don't know how to teach their people how to get the job, which is important too. So
no, you're exactly right.
Where do you fit into that?
Absolutely. Now think about that for a second. So you really hit the nail on the head there, spot on, because I think part of the first problem is that I don't even think homeowners, when they think about indoor air quality as a problem, even if they do, but let's assume that they do for a minute, I don't think that they think of their HVAC guy first. Unfortunately, they'll go to Amazon and they'll type in air purifier, and they'll spend $800 on an air purifier tower that stands in the corner of the room. And some of them are actually rather effective, albeit expensive, but then it'll just treat that one room. I think we in the HVAC business have done a terrible job of communicating the message that we actually have solutions that are far more effective than that tower, that instead of treating one room in the house, will treat the entire house. And that's a failure of our messaging. So you're exactly right. How do you get started in that? How does a contractor get started down that path when even the homeowner isn't sure where to turn to? One of the solutions is exactly, we recognize that problem. So one of the first steps that we offer, and it's a big step, is training. And when I say training, I want to be very clear. In our minds, there are 2 kinds of training. There's product training, where we teach contractors and distributors all day long about the product itself. How does it work? How do you install it? What are the features and benefits? And that's critically important training. But hand in hand with product training is sales training. If those guys don't know how to talk about indoor air quality, if they don't know how to walk into a home and look for that tower over in the corner where we know the homeowner is concerned about the quality of the air in their home, they just don't know where to go for answers. Someone has to teach those guys how to do that. And that's our job. We decided a long time ago that was our job, to help those contractors know how to engage the homeowner on this subject.
Absolutely. When you talk about, they don't know what to look for, and even opening your eyes and seeing that the customer already bought a product from somewhere else. I think many of us have been in jobs before and not made that connection that, yes, oh, there's an $800 filter in the corner. This customer must have something that they're trying to help. And if we go backwards a minute to something you said, you mentioned that as an industry, we've done a terrible job at bringing indoor air quality into the industry, in the consumer's mind. And I think one of the problems with that is that we've constantly went around teaching customers that we do cooling and heating. It's like my company might be ABC Heating and Cooling, nothing against that name, but nothing in that tells the customer either that we do protect the air that they breathe. And so many people take for granted what air conditioning actually means, where we actually condition, filter, treat, adjust the temperature, humidity, air quality of all the air in the home on a regular basis.
I think you're going to see IAQ, indoor air quality, actually eventually it could break off from HVAC. You know how duct cleaning for a while was part of the HVAC world, and then they broke off into their own. They have their own organizations, trade shows, et cetera, for duct cleaning guys. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if we see IAQ break off into kind of a separate channel for exactly the reason you just described. There's too many people that don't make the connection between IAQ and HVAC. That's too bad.
There's a few $1 million idea right there. Just
there really is. If I was
industry.
About 25 years younger, I might take that one on.
Wow, you just gave the idea to someone.
Let's stay with that for a second. So again, if KGG is about helping contractors grow their business, and I hope that's what most people see us as, one of those first steps is to make sure that that contractor, let's say he's got 10 trucks, let's make sure that every one of his salespeople knows how to bridge that conversation over right into IAQ. Again, that helps set them apart from the other guys that are going to quote the same job. Let's make sure that those installers are trained to look for the same tower in the corner, to ask the question, does anybody in the home have a respiratory problem? Does anybody have allergies? Anybody sneezing a lot? Do you smell too much dust or pet odor? Because all of these things can be solved. Once you teach them to make sure that conversation is part of every sales call, part of every installation, their margin goes up, their gross revenue goes up, their repeat customers goes up. When neighborhoods talk about, hey, my HVAC broke down, who should I call? And somebody says, oh my God, you got to call my guy, because he's not just about HVAC, he's also about the healthier family. Boom. That's differentiation.
I think it is. Well, that's a great point. Looks like I lost our my picture behind us here.
No worries.
Well, looking at that, when we're talking about, teaching the people, what resources then does KGG bring to the table on that?
Thanks for asking that question. So again, keeping in mind that we view training as product training and sales training, the simplest thing is, what we love about having reps in every market in the country is that we have live boots on the ground. So we have live people willing to go out and meet with contractors and get them all together and buy them lunch and do the training for them. That's the most effective method of all. The next method, though, is online training. So at KGG, and the website is kggconsulting.com, you'll find that there are several training opportunities for anyone, for distributors, for contractors. Anybody can sign up for it. It's free. There are 3 classes, kind of beginner, intermediate, and advanced, if you will. But that advanced class is actually about selling, how to go sell IAQ. The second class is kind of the product class that literally breaks down the products. And the first class we call, I think it's called IAQ Basics. And it literally is a basic course, a 1-hour course on understanding what is indoor air quality all about, why does it matter, et cetera. And that's the course that actually carries with it a 1-hour NATE certification for the contractors who are NATE guys and keep track of that. So the first step to answer to your question is training. Indoor air quality is a training intense product category. You have to learn how to use it, install it, understand it, and sell it. And that's a never-ending battle. So we wanted to interject ourselves into that space in a big way. I have a director of training. His name is Rob Ambersetti. He'll be in Atlanta next week with us as well. And that's his job on a national level, to take charge of scheduling training, signing people up for training, make sure that our training is the most current and up-to-date available, because that's how important training is to that story. So that's the first step.
Welcome to Storytime with TNFR. Today's story is about a contractor who found value in the new flat rate, making him successful and changing his business for the better. Check it out.
You get success out of anything that you put your heart into, that you believe in, and that has value. So, this has absolute value, so you're going to get out of it what you put into it. So if you don't put anything into it, you might as well not spend your money, because you're not going to do it or implement it or champion it anyway. But if you're somebody who is going to take it on, then it's going to change your business. It's going to take you from struggling to being successful, and so absolutely you should do it.
And I'm looking at your website right now at these different modules you have.
Yep.
And just for clarity's sake here,
Yeah.
and you might have said it and I didn't
That's all right.
catch it. So can I click on one of these and go
Yes.
through it? Is it just free, or do I
It's
pay for it?
absolutely
How does
free.
that
It's
work?
it is absolutely free. I believe we ask you to enroll
Okay.
just so that we can kind of give you the NATE certification points if you earn them, that sort of thing. So I think there's a real brief little enrollment page,
Okay.
but there's absolutely no charge for it at all.
Oh, wow. So
Yep.
this is a deal. So
It is
for all of
absolutely
our
a deal.
listeners there, those
That's
of you
right.
that are NATE certified or going to be NATE certified, the NATE program requires that you go through so many hours of continuing education every year to keep your certifications.
Yep.
And so why not use a training that will actually benefit you
100%.
instead of just going and sitting in some boring class? Right here, you can do it from your home. You can do it from the company's computer and sit here and watch a video for an hour.
Exactly right.
That's a great concept. Thank you,
It
Ken,
is.
for
It's a neat
bringing
deal.
that.
It's a neat deal. And we've had tens of thousands of people go through the courses. So we've done quite well there.
Good. Well, I'm glad to see it. So that's fantastic.
Yep.
Now, so when it comes to IAQ, then we've got a few these different pieces together. We've got some training. We got more training and more training. We've got the products. The best way to solve somebody's issues in their home is definitely to pair them with those right products. So how are these contractors going to know which products they really need to put into this customer's home?
That's such a great question because there's so many different solutions. And that's part of the training, is to how to listen to a homeowner, how to look at the house and come up with the right solutions. There are air purification products that purify the air. There are great filtration products, obviously, that filter the air. There are devices that bring fresh air in from the outside and filter it and save some energy and mix it with the air in the home. There are products that monitor the air. Okay. There are products that either add humidity or decrease humidity if necessary. You would be surprised how important the right humidity level is to indoor health. So all of those things add up to a bunch of different products that we teach the contractor how to decide which of that suite of products really fits the bill within the budget, within the needs of the homeowner. Put together a good, solid, aggressive quote for that homeowner, maybe even a good, better, best kind of a deal, and learn how to offer that variety of solutions. And they're all genuine solutions. Opening a window is a great solution, except you lose all the energy. You can't do that. There are devices that are built to bring in fresh air from the outside without losing all that energy. There are some great filtration devices out there that do a marvelous job of even capturing the aerosolized COVID-19 particles. Amazing products available. And we teach them how to do that. Now, one of the other things I know we're going to touch on, I'll just jump into it, is the video brochure, if this is a good time for that, because I'm so proud of that one. Is this a good time to chat about that?
Sure. Well, that was my next question was,
Awesome.
Hey, you're going to teach us how to install them. You're going to teach us where to get them, how to buy them, teach us how to sell them. But then the other thing is, how do I market this, and how do I get it out there in front of our customers?
Yes. And I love this one because I get to, one of my favorite things to say is that arguably there's a lot of times that the installer or the technician, whatever we call him, is not necessarily the best salesman in the industry. He's probably a fantastic installer and a fantastic technician, but he might not be a highly trained salesman. That's not his shtick. He's an installer. That's what he does well. But that's also the best opportunity there is. He's in the home. He's talking to the homeowner. If we can't figure out a way to help him start that indoor air quality conversation, then I always felt like I was letting them down. We got to come up with a way that's going to help them. I believe we did. There's a thing called a video brochure. I think most of us have seen them by now. It's about the size of a normal brochure, but when you open it, there's a 5x7 LED screen that starts playing automatically. So we designed a 2-minute infomercial, if you will, that starts to talk about indoor air quality solutions. So imagine the scenario now. Technician comes up to the home, knocks on the door, meets the homeowner, listens to the problem. He says, I'm going to go get my tools. I'll go around back and I'll start checking things out for you. But while I'm doing that, let me leave you with this video brochure. I'd like you to open it up and take a look, and then we'll talk about that later. So now the homeowner has been primed. The video is very well designed it's an animated video, and it just, in a very friendly way, opens the door to saying, I'm a professional in indoor air quality. I'm trained in indoor air quality. I have real solutions for you and your family. If you'd like to talk about them, I'm here. And now we've bridged that gap. Now, even an installer who's maybe a little shy or maybe doesn't even know how to talk about these things, we've already cracked open that door for him. The next time he sees the homeowner 30 minutes later, all he has to say is, oh, hey, did you get a chance to look at that brochure? Boom, the conversation's going forward. It's been a very, very effective tool for our contractor partners.
Well, I don't know why, because surely people don't watch, videos nowadays.
Yeah, right, exactly.
They would rather read it. I know they would rather do that, right?
They hand them a printed brochure. Yeah, no, that doesn't do it anymore. You're exactly right. You're exactly right.
And let's roll on this for a second. For those of you that haven't seen the video brochures, they really are an amazing product. And the cool thing about what Ken here is bringing to us is that even though video brochures in the past, a lot of marketing companies has told us that we have to spend, tens of thousands of dollars to mail these things to all of our customers all around town at a pretty high price. What Ken's saying is that we actually don't have to do that all the time. There's still a place for that. We can do it if we work up to it, but you can actually start by just putting one in all your technicians' hands, and then it becomes a reusable thing. The customer will give it back to you. But some of them might say, you know what, hey, can I keep this? And can I go over it with my spouse? Or can I keep this and go over it with my grandparents or my parents and my cousins and my neighbors? And it's a really, really effective piece that is captivating. They really are.
It really is. It's kind of even fun to watch. It's a neat little animated thing. So yeah, you're exactly right, Matt. 100%.
Well, I think a lot of contractors that are active in trade shows and things have seen them at this point, but some of them that haven't been still haven't, because I personally, as a homeowner, I haven't had one just show up in my mailbox unless I requested it.
I haven't either.
And so I think it's still one of them things that's very captivating to a homeowner when you hand them this thing and they're like, what is this? And then they open it, like, oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yep.
So that's really cool. So I'm glad.
And it works. It's we have a great track record. We've been doing it for, oh my gosh, 3 years probably now. And it works. It's a very effective tool. And we do try to give one for everyone. When we bring on a new contractor as a partner, and by that, I mean, they're using the products that we're selling. They're working with our reps in the field. They're taking the training courses. We start to develop this rapport with them. We make sure we just give it to them. And you're right, it's not inexpensive. It is not inexpensive. But we make sure that we put one on every truck that they have. Doesn't matter how many trucks they have. We put one on every truck.
Awesome. So when they start going and using KGG, then you help them get set up for success.
100%. We're completely committed to their growth and their success. And shame on us if we don't follow through with that. But again, the good news is we are following through with that. It is working. We are successful. And it's because we put the contractor at the forefront of what we do every day.
Awesome. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Now, what about other things? Because I know that, what we were talking about there, we were talking about putting a video in front of a customer, but that's assuming that we're already in front of a customer.
Yeah.
And there's some companies out there that they don't have all their things together in the world of marketing, but they're still good companies, but they just don't quite have the leads that they need. Is that something that you guys help with as well?
Big time, all the way around. In fact, at this point in time, my digital marketing guy has already coined a phrase. He says, if I can't find you on my phone, you have started the process to going out of business. And he's right. And end of story. If you're still putting flyers under windshield wipers, you are a dinosaur. You're gone. You have got to be able to be found on the internet, on a mobile device, and you better do a good job of it because your competitors are doing a good job of it. So we decided we have to help with all of that. We make available SEO marketing help, social media platform help, anything we can do, because again, contractors aren't necessarily great at that. Now, a lot of them are, and a lot of them are getting better every day, believe me, but there's still a ton of them that they don't know where to get started. So we have a lot of free support, consulting, help, advice, ideas, and then we actually go beyond that. If somebody really wants us and a full suite of our support, then obviously we have a whole department that does that, and of course charges a very reasonable fee for all those services. But we love to engage contractors on every level we can, and being involved in their SEO and being involved in their digital platform marketing is a fun space to be in because we're very good at it. We're actually quite good at it.
It seems like that. Well, that's important.
And
so just as a kind of a recap a little bit about the company and how you're helping contractors, this isn't just you helping a handful of contractors, up north or down south or on the East Coast or West Coast. What's your stretch to be able to help these guys right now? Big towns, small towns, where are you at?
Well, we're quite literally everywhere. We cover all 50 states and Canada. There isn't a metro market in the United States that we don't cover. We have sales reps that cover every one of those. I think the last count was a total of 80 pairs of boots on the ground in terms of actual field representatives that work with us on a daily basis. Some of them have been with me for more than 20 years. So there is no market in the country that we don't touch. I think we might have mentioned this earlier. We are actually we're testing currently a homeowner lead generation program for our contractors. We're currently testing it in Florida. We're getting our legs under us. It's a long haul to end up getting to the point where a homeowner really does want to invite a contractor in their home and try to make that process more or less either free or very inexpensive for the contractor, because that level of digital marketing is not inexpensive. So we're still trying to bridge that gap. But along the way, to really answer your question, there's nowhere in the United States and Canada that we don't have training representatives, field sales representatives, and contractor partners that we're working with. We're kind of everywhere.
Good. Well, that's pretty amazing, Ken. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
It's nice that you're able to help that many people.
Yes.
And so, on that note, for those of you listening again, if you haven't checked out what Ken's company is doing for the contractors, you need to go to his website, and I'll just drop that in again. It's at KGG, not KGB. It's KGG Consulting.com.
Yep.
And if you click on that contractor portal in there, it'll take you over to the training area that he's talking about. There's a lot of other resources you definitely want to check out.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you a freebie. I'm going to give you a quick little freebie that your listeners are going to love. So one of the things, if you don't already know this, and I'm sure you do, about social media marketing is content. You've got to have a lot of content, always new content. We actually built a free website, and I'm just going to give this away for free. It's called HVACcontent.com. And it is a treasure trove of free content for contractors to use in the process of their social media marketing. It's just loaded with everything from memes to slide decks to download to short infomercial blurbs on IAQ stuff. And it's all there for free. You can have that as a gimme.
Just go there, download what you need, and post it on Facebook, and you're good to go, right?
You're good to go. You're good to go.
So that's awesome.
We have another one. We have a landing page for it's an information page for homeowners and anybody else. It's called IAQ.works. Again, go there. We have articles. I have a whole team of people writing articles all day long. Air quality issues, government issue, latest data from the CDC, all the latest data from the IAQA.
Ken?
I have a whole team of people that work on that every day.
Ken,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we lost you there for a second.
Okay.
Your
Am I
internet
back?
disappeared. You're back, but start back at HVAC or IAQ.works there.
Okay, let's just go with IAQ.works. So another great resource for anybody, go to IAQ.works. It is loaded with articles. I have an entire team of people that write articles for it all day long. All the information from the CDC, from IAQA, really industry leading organizations about indoor air quality issues. We edit articles, we write articles, and it's all free. It's a lot of valuable information as a homeowner, as a distributor, as a contractor. So check those both out, hvaccontent.com, IAQworks.com, and then of course, KGGconsulting.com.
Don't forget that one. And the new flat rate. We'll help link
And
you
the new
together
flat
as
rate,
well.
of course.
We got it all. Well, cool. Well, there's a lot of good stuff in there, Ken. I mean, it's amazing what you're bringing to the industry with all this stuff.
Thank you.
So tell me, is there anything that we're missing in this conversation we've had?
You know what? Honestly, Matt, I don't think so. I'm pretty proud of what we've done, but it's the team thing. I have a great team. We have a great focus. We love partnering with folks like you and the new flat rate. I'm looking forward to that meeting next month. I honestly don't think I left anything out. I think we did a good job.
All right, well, good. Well, then let's close with this for everybody that's listening. Make sure, again, you check out Ken's company's website, kggconsulting.com. We'll put that email and everything, not the email, but the website and everything, and then Ken's contact information on the screen for you, so you can check all that out. And then for those of you that may not be familiar with the new flat rate, remember the new flat rate is your automatic add-on selling system, as well as your menu pricing system that can help with a lot of these different areas to complement what Ken's teaching. If you just need an easy way to price that job, we've got your back as well. And when it comes to getting in touch with everybody, make sure if you haven't already went to Business Uncensored, you put that on the list. We're there every year. About the October month every year, we end up having a Business Uncensored where we bring great companies like KGG and the new flat rate together, where you can come and see these products and services and training that's available and get a lot of stuff to take back and start revolutionizing the industry that you serve. And more important than anything is really you just get a lot of things that you're able to help an awful lot of people in a really good way. And that becomes beneficial to everybody, I think, don't you?
It's 100%. That's right. If you can help everybody in the food chain, then we all benefit from that. That's a wonderful way to look at it.
Awesome. Well, in which case, so we just again wanted to say thank you everybody for tuning in today. And if there's anything that we can do to help, Ken or myself, feel free to pick up the phone, give us a call, or shoot us an email, and we'd be happy to chat with you.
Exactly
So
right.
again, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you so much for listening. If you want to know more about the new flat rate, go to tnfr.us. If you want to learn more about KGG Consulting, go to kggconsulting.com. Lastly, don't forget to check out their free content for HVAC at hvaccontent.com.